enjoying Morika diet and the principal of Morika diet and all the lecturers and to my model school principal who is here. I'm really grateful. And all my dear, I think so, DLX students and lecturers. So it's an immense pleasure for me to be here, because we are still in the era of World Environment Day. Yesterday we went, but every day we should celebrate World Environment Day, isn't it? It's not only one day. It is the belief that World Environment Day is so important because we need to reflect and think about our world. And I will tell you, it's okay if I speak in English. And it's very important because this day, it is almost in 1973 we started. And from then, the United Nations started because of the awareness for protection of environment. And that is the why our earth is in a pitiable state. And we really need to think and reflect and do our bit sustainably, which is really important. And this time, it is also the same as it's going to the government, institutions, youth, and communities. And the theme is to inspire the nature for climate and for the future, which is really important. Now, I just want to tell you a very important thing. You must have planted a sapling, but more important than every tree planted and every drop of water saved is and every sustainable choice made by today helps us shape a better tomorrow. So remember, our choices made and whatever that we plant, we need to see how it nurture, and that's so that we get a beautiful tomorrow, greener tomorrow. So with this, I would like to start my presentation and would like to say that every one of us are connected to nature. So yeah, and before I would like to say that Morigao Juntu district, মোৰ কাৰণে বহুত close. মই মাজে মাজে অসমীয়াও কৈছো because আপোনালোকৰ যোনটো ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্টত মই ফাৰ্ষ্ট 2012 চনত দিল্লীৰ পৰা আহি আমি এইটো ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্টতে এডুকেশ্যন গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট অফ আছাম SCRT তেওঁলোকৰ লগত collaboration কৰি আমি বহুত program আৰম্ভ কৰিছিলো. And we have this Lukopriya Gopinath Bordlai School as our Tetia Ek Prithvi School. Logote ami 10 school lolu aru Tetia Teket Education Minister, I think so, who was in Landmark. We had the finale. Siddharth Bhattacharjya sir. Teketor logot ami aru kori pela amar launch ho. And Morika district of 10 school at ami Ek Prithvi program 2019 ole arambho hekol. আৰু তাৰ পিছত এতিয়াও আমাৰ মডেল স্কুল আছে লোকপ্ৰিয় গোপীনাথ বৰদলৈ স্কুল আৰু লগতে মায়ং হাই সেকেন্ডাৰী স্কুল we are doing in a bigger way. So I am really connected to Morigao, and even your principal diet, I met him in Guwahati in Artist Guild, and he's so fascinated with the environment and wildlife. So that inclined me, and of course, and even your DO Apurva Thakuria is very much. I gave him almost more than 2,000 books of Homia Junto Mohan Kham Bikakor Karne. So let me start with this. Is it happening or anybody who can just? Yeah. Yes, it's going. So, as you all know, I'm connected with a panda, which is very important. Yeah. So, panda, etu korba hole. In 1961, Sir Peter Scott, in London Zoo, he saw the giant panda in the zoo, Chi panda boli koi. Hey panda, when they saw that it's adorable. At the same time, it's black and white, and at the same time, it's endangered. Aru he karone amar logo to panda. So that is why from that time, our WWF juntu amar logo hoy hetu panda, and we are working over more than 100. more than 100 countries around the globe. So আজি এই roomটোত যিমানে আছে আপোনালোকে যেহেতু you all are connected to this Panda family, you can, whenever you go to any parts of the world, যদি আপোনালোকে কয় যে we are a part of the Panda WWF, you will get so much recognition, because the work that we are doing along with all the youth and with the educators is immense. So that is why and we have in India more than 75 offices and 12 state offices and many of the field offices. So, and this magnificent work of the biodiversity, then critical regions, we have the Brahmaputra landscape, then we have the high altitudes covering from the Ladakh to this Arunachal and everyone in the western belt. So, Ami, a good regions or wetland, rivers, mountains, and everything in wildlife, everything we look after. And apart from that, renewable energy, which is very important, you know, because Amar etia ki hoise Amar yat, I'm very happy that there's no AC in this room, because those are again carbon footprints. And whenever there's so beautiful iman dunia windows and there's so that everybody, we are really taking a step for environment. So we don't, but after some time we'll be going to switch on to the renewable energies. So this is why 1969 it came to India, and from then our environment education is very taking a big space. And the nature clubs of India, even the many people in the ministry, they say that they have the nature club badges, which is very important. Because of the nature club connect, they could do so much and think for the environment. So that is how why, you know, our nature clubs connect to nature is very important. Now we are dealing with the education to inform, empower and take action for an impact, which is really important. Eta aji junkhini ami kori asu to inform you, ami apnalok janabole, empower, you all are becoming empowered. The educators, we make them empower and to create a great impact on the society. So we have all our offices across, and we have many programs where we carry out. So I'll tell you in details. So this is most important. You know, the center stage is climate change. As you know that what happened in Okomote, etia kedinman agote khub dhuniya botor, hoy na, etia beleg jagat kiman it was so hot, but then it same happened to us. Okomoto etia last 4-5 dinor pora it's very hot, and that is happening because of climate change. And climate change hoise prithibit okol amar actions borar karone. It is we have to think our individual actions count a lot. Our daily habits, ami ki sustainable, ami prithibir par kiman komai lobo lage, hetu important. Hetu kane amar we have to reflect back and think. And these are the challenges that you know, create stress, dear manhok, eco anxiety, because our environment is at a stretch. Amar gos gosoni bo nohua hoise, hetu eta kotha. So it is all because of this. And the most important reason is the extreme heat, polluted air, water scarcity, and biodiversity loss. Biodiversity loss or because I am from that field, why we are in a very bad state. And since WWF is the highest conservation organization of the world dealing with scientific data, so I will be able to tell you the reasons there. It's technology, yeah. So this is the stronger connect of nature and empathy, and this is how, this is very important, the resilience. So now these are some of the flagship pillars that we do. It is the formal education. We run this equity program, and now we have the mission Prakriti with education department collaboration. It is a big program with and it is running in all the 35 districts of Assam, where Morigao is also doing very good. And even we have a nodal you know, officer from Morigao who looks after the Morigao district. So this is a program to green the school, and that was really highly appreciated by Honorable Chief Minister and even the Education Minister. And we have an award ceremony. So I want all the Morigao schools to be a part, and you educators need to take it forward. So People for Planet is another big volunteering where we connect to the youth with the colleges, university, and also your DLED, like they can be connected with us. So today also I have Vitali, who is my core volunteer from this district. So this is how we are connected to do various impactful work in the society. And then we have the Nature Connect program. We have lots of eco trails, Nature Connect, so that they go to the nature, go to the wild, and see the biodiversity and note down. This is important. Then we have the Wild Wisdom Global Challenge, which is a global quiz where almost we have maximum participation from Assam. Last time we got almost 60,000 participants, and most of the schools, and we have winners also going to nationals. So there's another digital platform, One Planet Academy. I will share with your principal, sir. This is a portal where the principal school educators can get lots of free data from there. Okay, and then we have got lots of publications which are exhibited in the here, so you can see there. I think so. Yeah, it's the battery. Sorry, all of technical glitch. বা আছে নেকি বাৰু? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so how can we engage? Ami keneke, how do we engage is that first of all, experiential learning. Sabotke important is our habits, sustainability. Secondly, most important, nature connect. Ami jimane গছ গছনিৰ পৰা ওচৰ থাকো, আমি ৰুই পেলাই connect to কৰো. That is how we can do good to our environment. So that is why we have this nature trail. Nature trail মানে যি আপোনালোকৰ বেকয়াৰ্ড ট্ৰেইল, যি স্কুলৰ কলেজৰ ওচৰত যি আছে তাৰে জৈৱ বৈশিষ্ট্য চাই পেলাই নোট কৰাটো, which is really important. তেতিয়া আপোনালোকে জানিব যে কিমান you are rich, you start having such good biodiversity. So that is about the nature trail. Then we have a citizen science program, City Nature Challenge, where you know what happens there. The like you have to upload your findings of a biodiversity, a fauna or a flora in iNaturalist. iNet এটা একাউণ্ট আছে য'ত মানে আপোনালোকে তাক আপলোড কৰিব পাৰে, আৰু সেইটো আমাৰ অসমৰ ইমান biodiversity rich, so it is very easy. So I'll tell you how to do that today. So, and this is about the interactive sessions. Our model conference or party, which is from classes 8 to 12. য'ত মডেল ইউনাইটেড নেশ্যনছ বুলি এটা প্ৰগ্ৰেম হয়, য'ত আমি মিনিষ্ট্ৰী অফ এনভাইৰনমেণ্ট এণ্ড ফৰেষ্ট আৰু লগতে CBD নেশ্যনেল বায়'ডাইভাৰ্চিটি বৰ্ডৰ লগত কানেক্ট কৰি আমাৰ ষ্টুডেণ্টছক এজন টিচাৰ আৰু দুজন ষ্টুডেণ্টছে ডেলিকেট হৈ পেলাই তেওঁলোকে ইছ্যুজবোৰ ডিছকাছ কৰি then we go forward in the national level. So this is how the connect is there. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is about understanding about the climate change, which is really important. Now, climate change is a long term because it is because of the weather and the temperature, as you all know, and due to the activities of burning fossil fuels. Kiman gari, kiman mane carbon emissions hoise. So that is the reason we are having this climate change. But we think that we should go for carpooling, বা আমি লাইক আজিকালি ইভিজ বোৰ আহিছে, তেনেকুৱাবোৰত শিফ্ট কৰিলে বেটাৰ হয়. We have to take forward deforestation. বহুতবোৰ গছ গছনি কাটা হৈছে, কিন্তু লগতে প্লান্টেশ্যন আমি কৰিব পাৰো, বা যিখিনি গছ আছে তাকো চম্ভালিব পাৰিলে সেইখিনিও বহুত ভাল. And global warming, that is what we are facing. And the 10 effects of All this are, it's written here. You can take a photo if you want. And these are the reasons it's the most important for the climate change. Yeah. So what is our role for climate change? Yes, understanding. I think so. I'm going just. Yes, as a role, as an individual, as a communities, which is really important that to reduce the carbon footprint, যোনটো আমি কলো environmental campaign য'ত আমাৰ আপোনালোকৰ মৰিগাঁও ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্টত বহুতবোৰ campaigns হৈ আছে, বহুতবোৰ সজাগতা আপোনালোকে ৰেলী কৰে, সেইটো বহুত ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট। আৰু চবতকে ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট ইজ সাষ্টেইনেবল সলিউশনছ। আজি এতিয়া মই দেখিলো ব্ৰেকফাষ্ট দিছে কলপাত দি পেলাই, কিয় দিছে? কিয় কাৰণে পানীখিনি কমাই ধুবলৈ পানী কমাই ইউজ কৰিব পাৰে, হয়নে? সেইটো কাৰণে so that is the reason it is a step forward and that is a sustainable solution. I really appreciate Diet Moriga for this. Yes. Yes, so this is the most important crossword of balancing development. Your topic of the seminar, which is I'm coming here, is balancing development and sustainability. This is very important. What happening? You know, we are in a progressive world. Yes, are we progressing or not? Yes, I want to hear. So do you want Assam to go high? Yes. So if Assam has to go high, our Honorable Chief Minister is also trying to do his bit to getting so many flyovers and so many, which is useful for us. Yeah. So, but at the same time, development is happening, but we have to see how it is sustainably done. So, if there are trees in the roads, we should see how the tree is also saved. And so those things have to be taken into account. And industrialization. Now, many industries are coming up, and that happens because we are getting this job coming up. Okay. And the pollution that is created by the industry. So there is an eco bill. Nowadays, there is there is an eco bill where the organizations have to put plantation. So that is their sustainable way of doing it. And then urbanization supports education, healthcare. So when urbanization happens, now what I am using here, what you are using here is technology. Yes. So this development is not only the roads or the buildings. It is also about how we now you're having the smart boards. Yes. So that is development. So development needs to happen. And however, unchecked development restrains to natural system. So we have to see it is sustained, which is very important. You can see in this thing that more saplings has been rooted. So, and we have also given lots of saplings here to Diet Moriga. You can take and do plant it. An environmental cost of unsustainable development, which is the main root cause. What happening? Deforestation and habitat loss. There is totally our biodiversity, our wildlife is in a bad state. You know, in Guwahati, I want to say, in places like Maligaon, Kilpukuri and all, sometimes the leopard comes down. So what happens? Because we are coming in that place, it is not that. So that is why we need to see that habitat loss for them is not done. And then air water pollution is very important. Like we have to see, keep a check on the pollutions that's just polluting the environment, and climate change and extreme, then loss of biodiversity and the ecosystem. So this is the most important slide, sustainable development. You know, what do you mean by sustainable? Anybody, can you tell? What is the meaning of sustainable? Anyone? ক'ব পাৰে ইংলিছত অসমীয়াত? Anybody? Sustainable মানে কি বুঝে? Yes? Yeah. Very good, Vitali. Yeah, so we have to see that for a future generation. Resource, we have the ample resource. That is important. Amar sustainably ami বহনক্ষমে পদ্ধতিৰে আমি আগবঢ়াটো খুবেই দৰকাৰ। সেইকাৰণে this sustainable way of living is very important because আমাৰ resources কমি গৈ আছে। আমি যদি আজি পৃথিৱীৰ পৰা বহুত লওঁ তেতিয়া আমাৰ পৃথিৱীত একোৱেই নাথাকিব আমাৰ নেক্সট জেনেৰেশ্যনৰ কাৰণে, হয় নাই? সেইকাৰণে যিমান লাগে সিমানেৰে ল'ব লাগে। আপোনালোকে জানে যে 5 hours 3 hours আগতে আছে কি কি আছে? reduce, reuse, recycle. There are 2 hours coming now. What are those? Yes, refuse. এটা রিফিউজ কৰাব লাগে আৰু এটা রিপারপাস। রিফিউজ মানে আমাক যিমান লাগে সিমানে ল'ব লাগে আৰু রিপারপাস মানে আমাৰ যোনখিনি প্লাষ্টিক আৱৰ্জনা আছে we make things out of that. সেইটোৱে এতিয়া নতুন পদ্ধতি আৰু that is why the এইবোৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত আমি আগবাঢ়িব পাৰি। আৰু I want to say that আমাৰ পৃথিৱীখন in a bad state and for this 73% degradation হৈছে। And I will go to this slide now. And amar junto water, pani, fresh water ecosystem, you know, it is very bad. 85% degradation. Pani agote mane impact to pore biodiversity because water is, you know, you all the waste in the land, whenever you throw, it goes to the water. Pani logot mili jay na, hoy na? Yes. So you can see the degradation happening first in the water, always in the fresh waters. And then now that's why, you know, we are taking the theme of Wild Wisdom Global Challenge, where I told you, as the oceans, because it's very important. And from the water, there the degradation happens for biodiversity. Now, this is the most important slide where, you know, our planet's current situation. You know, we WWF always are we take out the health check of the planet Earth, and there is a important biannually we take out a report, Living Planet report, where it is told that there is 73% degradation. Can you imagine? It's from last 50 years, 1970 to 2020. The report says the degradation, and after few years we'll see that there is the biodiversity is in a threat. Then what happens? Amaru too, we human beings, we are a part of biodiversity, right? So we are also in a threat. So it is high time that this World Environment Day, everybody of us take a pledge so that we think for a sustainable tomorrow. This is really important. So finding a balance, sustainable development is very important, but at the same time, how we can think for a resilient economy, healthy ecosystem, which matters for the future of generations. So you can see these are the ways. I could see the snake plant here. Then we have to go for renewable energies. So this is how we take the balance and see how the world we get a greener tomorrow, even though development is happening. Yes. So now our wetlands, which plays an important role, and because of that, you could see that groundwater, freshwater lakes, rivers, it's 0.629%, where they need to be estimated. So the footprints, the water footprints, water used is this much, then water wasted and water polluted. This is very important. As I told you, water is most important parameter for the environment, and we really need to protect it so that we protect our environment. Then this is the direct footprint of water, is that water consumes by what happened? Bathing, washing, gardening, flushing. So, and these are the direct uses. And so now let's come to this point of the role of educators, where y'all are the change makers, y'all are the ambassadors to pass on the message to the youth, you know, to think of the, you know, what are the ways to sustainably we can live our lifestyle, so that is the most important. This is the most important. As I told you, the first thing is the nature connect. As near you are going to the nature, aru jimane apnaloke যিমান ওচৰৰ বায়োডাইভাৰ্চিটি আছে সেইখিনি নোট কৰাটো খুব দৰকাৰ আমাৰ লাইফষ্টাইল চেঞ্জ আৰু লগতে নেচাৰ কানেক্ট which is really important. So please this too, and then so that we find out a greener, and you all are becoming the good mentors for a good leader. So this is according to the latest NEP 2020 environment education. I know you all are all educators from the education department, so this is most important because the curriculum integrate environmental themes, which is very important. You all have to it is there in all the subjects. There is now we are taking a LORET, local relevant themes. Means we don't teach environment in only like life science, zoology, botany. It is there in maths, and then it is there in English. We have workshops where even we do practically. We ask the plantation happening, then we make a sort of with the bricks we make some design like rhombus, circle, trapezium. So that's a talking garden. Then the knowledge of maths is there, and of course there are literatures where we take out English as a subject, where we have nature guides, and taking out the workshops which are connect to nature. They make poems out of the environment. So this is how. And then core themes, that is climate change, pollution, biodiversity, waste, sanitation, and sustainability. These are the main important capsule. And we have this program Mission Prakriti Assam with Education Department SSA, where we have these 5 themes as a basic in school education curriculum, which is related. And through this, we try that the schools, they have the school green cabinet form, and from there, each cabinet, they go to do various activities. We have regular sessions with them, and that is how it is how the core themes are going to the students. And then in nature, as I told you, very important, nature connect. And we have also given lots of modules and nature connect. Even in Povitara, in many schools, we had nature nature walks happening very regularly. And so that is very important for building a connect for sustainability. Now, value-based education. This is most important, holistic development. A school is developed not only by the results, it is the behavioral change in the students. If a student is very good in exam or whatever, but if he thinks, he have to think wisely. He needs to carry his own water bottle, or he needs to think about the environment. He needs to tell his parents, logote peer group, friends of Kobalebo, Bahir community Kobalebo. Then that is important. It's the overall development of a child. That is the behavioral change, which is very important. So value-based education, that is it. Then building teacher capacity, that we do time on time. We have, capacity building leadership workshops with the education department, which is really important. And we have also given many books to your, DO's office. So this is, we are losing the connect with nature. What's happening? Of course, this is the situation of the youth. Yes, the youth is more into the mobile and all. The nature connect is becoming less. So you educators are the backbone to tell them that, okay, mobile is important because there are many things going on online. But the nature connect, they have to come out and go to the wild, and that is important. So this is about the global, I'm not going to read it, Global Biodiversity Framework, which is very important, GBF, which is according to 2030, and the highlights of the landmark of 30 into 30 targets, which is protecting and managing the 30% land freshwater. As I told you, the land, freshwater, and oceans by 2030 is most important in our to see it. So that is the reason we need to think of our, the resources that we are available. And then this is the critical role of education in achieving the biodiversity goal. Education is essential, of course, as an environmentally responsible citizen. You all know that ecosystem services, how important is the ecosystem services. So we have to tell this to the students. And so that, as I told, the biodiversity lifestyle changes and also the behavioral changes are really important to make a sustainable tomorrow. So this is another very important slide about eBird. As I told you, we had this citizen science program, CNC. We started here, and last 2 years, it has been doing really great in Assam. And this time, I would like to say on 24th of April, we started to 27th of April, and 24th we were, in top. I would like to say Dr. Narayan Sharma somewhere in the top of the India. So even Mr. Ram, you must be knowing him, Hyderabad. So he was very happy. But later on, rain from the next second or third day. Then of course my volunteers and they could not go. But then we were in the fifth position in India, where we were in 10th. So this Nature Connect programs are very important. That is about eBird. Whenever kiba sorai dekhile apnaloke eBird or upload korbo pare. These are very important tools. It is not only you need to be a life science student. Everybody, even my volunteers from ADBU who are doing English and who are doing other subjects, they are all connected. You just have to have two apps. One is eBird for the birds, and you have to have iNet, which account. Our iNet is the biodiversity, which is very important. And you can't say that if you upload anything which is really, you can be the pioneer. So it's very important. Anything in the you see around the fauna flora can be just documented. So this is a very important iNet account which is coming, and everybody can be a part of the citizen science. Now this is School Education Foundation for Transformation Action, which I've already told. You all can be having the nature walks and capacity building. And this is the most important, the generation building generation 30 youth as the biodiversity champion. You all can be biodiversity champion. We have lots of youth who have become so inclined to biodiversity, and that now, like, my small children who were the champions of Wild Wisdom Quiz. One of them is in ISC in Bangalore. He is still connected. He joined chemistry, but then he shifted to biology again. And so this is how, if you are connected to nature, you can love nature and you can do so many things. So this is how the biodiversity champions you need to make, and anybody of them can become a biodiversity champion. It's not that they have to be from arts or commerce. So platforms like us, we take lots of storytelling sessions, and we have lots of street play. Like yesterday, many of our people, our student volunteers, they have done street plays in various locations in Guwahati and are connected to the common civilians, so that they also know the essence of the World Environment Day. So this is another BioBliss I want to say. This is last time in Wild Wisdom Quiz, we started with this connect. It is not only the quiz, it is the whole journey where, then what happened? The topic was on insects last year, and many schools from Assam and Northeast, they went to the wild, and our team were in the fourth position because they have noted down the biodiversity. And I just want to show, this is how the schools, you feel so good because the college youth goes, but the school moving out of the classrooms, going to note down the biodiversity gives immense pleasure. And this is not done only in Assam, in other districts, but in Northeast. I was in charge of entire Northeast, and Sikkim schools, Arunachal schools, and even Mizoram schools, they did great. So as you know, Northeast is biodiversity hotspot. So it is really, and those are how you can, when you upload it, you get also, similar species, then you can, so this is how you should do it. So this was done. I just brought few of the things to show you. This was from Silchar Kendra Vidyalaya, Nagaland. So, okay, there's a very interesting thing I want to show you now here in the Nagaland slide. No, sorry. I think so. I'm just going reverse. This sorry, I think so. Like, can anybody help me? I just which is the yeah. Can you go down back, back? Just back. You can yeah. No, back, more back, more back. One side back. Yeah. So here you can see what are this. Can anybody tell what is this? Yeah. This is what it's a caterpillar. Yeah. It's a that is the life cycle of a whole butterfly. So it was on insects. So it is very important that we observe the whole life cycle. It is not only the butterfly that is the adult coming up. So that school have taken up some and taken up the photos and uploaded. So that is why I want to yeah. So observing the species which is important. I was going okay. Yeah, or this way. This down one. Now. Okay, so with the youth, which we are doing now. Battery to lower the second one. This one. Yes. So with the youth, what we do, we try to explore and ideate and innovate. This is how the youth of today are doing. This is that's a students of Commerce College where they were engaged with us for a program, Eco Environment Conservation Hero program, where that they took out the project, which they took it to their colleges and also to outside. So this is how we are trying to having orientations with them and taking a theme which is related to the environment causes and that they take it to the wild. So now that is the power of influence. You have to be the power of influence because you have the ability to innovate. The students, they do so much innovation. You can't imagine what happened. They that was the it's there's no refrigerator in Sundarban schools. So that is how they use that as a sort of vegetator. They named it as vegetator, and that was used, and that was becoming a green. Uh, they became the award of the green champions. So this is the impact of they created to the environment. Now, these are very simple things that you can do for conservation. You are already doing the medicinal plant, and then you have to green your schools. You have to make the students feel nearer to the trees which is there. Then this is about the vermicomposting and also composting. It is not also all the time vermicomposting. When I go to the government school, I always tell that they have the kitchen garden. We try to have the kitchen garden, and whenever the composting, they just have to make the teeth and they have to put the kitchen garden waste and the dry leaves. So this is how they also can do something in the school campus. And this is the most important. They can make bird house boxes, and which is there in the rural schools. It's almost there, but in the urban schools, we are trying to promote this. And so this is how this is done in Gujarat in a big way, sparrow nest. But in Assam, we are already having lots of sparrows. But this is the campus. the campus is this can this is about the waste. Oh, it's also not okay. So as I sorry. Yes. You remember I was telling about the 3 hours, then I told about 2 more hours. One is refuse. We need to refuse what we don't require. And another one is repurpose. So this is what repurpose is happening here. You have to repurpose the bottle, the plastic bottles which are already in the environment. You can just repurpose it. So, and water conservation, that's really important to be done. And as rainwater harvesting, then we are encouraging the students and the communities to come forward because they are the voice of tomorrow. So this is really important to take out campaigns and really thematic where we have already done in Morigaon, lots of campaigns happening. So this is important message which goes. Then now let's come to the vultures, which is really important. We have to see like vulture is most important for our ecosystem, isn't it? So that is why, and it plays an important role in the biodiversity. So what happens? What happens to the ecosystem when the vultures is not there? What happened? No, no. Okay. Okay. So we are the most they clean up the environment, isn't it? So we কি করে? The environment can clean করে. Yes. So that is why in many districts the vulture population is decreasing, and that is the reason we really need to think about the vulture population, which is very important. And these are the driving force for extinction. This is very important. The electrocution, the collision with the windmills, and also they are poisoned by NSIDs. So this is an important reason why we really need to think back and work on the vulture conservation. So WWF has got conservation activities for vulture all throughout India, and we are starting very soon with Kamrup district, and in Lakhimpur and Shivsagar many work has been done. But we need to say that the people, youth cannot go in the wild and do conservation, but then you all can spread the message and tell about vulture, why it is important for ecosystem, how it cleans the environment, and that is what you all can do as your bid for the conservation. So we need your help to do that actually. Yes. So now this is what you can do with the communities for vulture community. Now this was the sighting of the Himalayan griffin, and that was also in that forest where we connect to the communities and the forest department and try that how much we can try to help and see that the debris are the environment is kept clean by keeping a check on the protection of the vulture population. So this is how we communicate in the vulture conservation activities. And there are 9 varieties of species of vultures, but in Assam we have six of them. So, and these are the vulture conservation activities which are running across, where we do with the forest department and with the even with the schools and the community. So now I want to come to the most important thing is the plastic. Can you tell me how much every one of us use plastic, even here it's plastic, but we cannot get rid of it. But most important is single-use plastic, where I always refrain it. We just have to get, we should be away from it. We have to carry our own bottles. And in fact, I would like to say that all the organizations should not have the plastic bottle. Yesterday, I went to a big event. They gave me a bottle. I told no, I have my. If you can give me a glass of water, glass is fine. So this is how you have to take action for your own SUPs. Single-use plastic. And this World Environment Day, you need to think for the climate change. So you have to think for the plastic, because the plastic bottles, that is the 500 milliliter, it takes 350 years to degrade. So can you imagine how much years it will be there in the environment, polluting the environment, the air pollution, then goes to the water pollution. So that's the reason why we need to think of this before anybody gives us the free bottle, we have to say no. That is important. So this is why I have taken out this slide. Let's take that. This is about the SUPs, which is, it is really important. We educators, all the people who are here, who are coming to speak, we need to preach ourselves. We need to do ourselves by doing. It's not about preaching. That is important. Yeah, so as I already discussed with you now, water pollution, then SUP disposal, and it creates immense human health hazards. So that is the reason I've already told you this 5 hours, which is really important. And now we have another program, which is, till last year it was Tide Turner Plastic Challenge along with UNEP. But this time we are starting with only Tide Turner Challenge, because apart from plastics, it is very important that to reflect back on the other environmental hazards, which is really important, where the students will come up with various levels, starting with school to the youth till 35 years of age. They can join this program of Tide Turners. Yeah, speed up. Yeah. So this, as you know, everybody were a part of Amrit Diksha Andolan, where this is because of the green cover, climate change, emissions. So these are the causes, these are the reasons that we have been doing. And I want to reflect back on the SDG goals, which is really important. This, if you can take a photo of this plantation, why we do? We are all doing plantation. It's not about just planting a tree. It is about to understand the field, to reflect, and to take care of the sapling, and to see after 6 months, after 1 year, how it goes. So these are the important SDGs which are related to and important for the, again it's stuck. I think so, it's stuck again. The person. Yes. So I just want you, everyone, to think globally and act locally. That is the one thing I want. Yeah, because our progress happens when we think about the world, how WWF Sweden, how in the other European countries are doing, but we have to act locally as per our availability of resources. Okay, so this is really important. Yeah, so do right locally, it becomes right globally. So we have to do right locally, then only according to the resources, then we will be right globally. So these are the, I will quickly go to the slides that we are into various programs like Adopt a Tree, Earth Hour. It's already gone actually. Yes. So various programs that we do with the formal schools, with the government school, with the private school, with so these are the various programs that we run, and with education, yeah. So with teachers training, and there's a short video clip. Can you help me out? It's just a 4-minute video. I think so. It's playing. You have the audio. It's just a 3 minutes video. It's not playing, or otherwise I'll send it to y'all and then will it play? Yeah, then okay. It's gone just the reverse. No, it will go to the last now. So I think so. You have to move the slide to the last 3 slides. Last 3 minutes. Yeah, so this is what which is entangled biodiversity loss, where
The average population size of Guatemala have dropped by 58% since 1970. We've already
So I would like to say that through education, awareness, community engagement, and sustainable lifestyle, we WWF are working with all the youth across to make a, we want you all to become the change makers for sustainable future. So with this, I would like to say that you control the climate change. It's in your hand. So, so thank you. And before moving, I want to just tell one thing that from now onwards, just think sustainably. Every day in your habits, what you use, how much less we can take from this world, a lesser footprint, so that we can give you a better, we have a better future, better environment with the sustainable resources for a coming generation. So saying that, I would like to end up. And happy World's Environment Day, not only yesterday, it's every day, as I told you. Thank you. Thanks so much.